What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel once again, where we review old hardware and see if it can game or not. You see my disgusting face back once again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Radeon HD 6750 to see if it can game in 2017.
Every morning I wake up to God and realize that this shit is all that I got. You either ball or you watch. You either robbing the bank or you calling the cops. You either on the cruise or on the yacht. You either live or you live in the die.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we got a new setup going. I'm going to be standing in front of the camera right here. I don't know, I feel like this is a more personalized experience. I'm right in your face, I got the mic in my hands, you can really see how I feel instead of just sitting. So I feel like that when I stand right here and I make videos like this and I really just talk to you guys, I can stand up, I can walk around. This feels a lot more personalized to me. You guys can see all my fantastic games back there, and it feels great. So with that said, I want to see how you guys are doing. So, I mean, I got breaking out. Can I get a hashtag F acne in chat? Football. Oh my god, dude. Love football. Football is just everything about me, dude. Like, I didn't get to do fantasy this year, but honestly, football is my life. So, I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I'm always wearing my Raiders gear 24/7. So, with that said, let's get into the GPU review that you guys have been waiting for. So this is going to be the Radeon HD 6750. This is a GPU that I've never really heard of in my life. So I actually found this at a recycling center, and I found this weird, like, single slot, weird looking variant of it. It's like a single slot design. It takes like 78 watts. It's a very odd looking GPU. So what I did was I did a little research on it when I was at the recycling center, and I asked myself, is this a DirectX 11 GPU? And I found out it is, and it has a gig of RAM, like maybe the 550 Ti is pretty similar. So I picked it up and I got it for like $5-10. So today we're gonna see if the $5 or $10 HD 6750 can game or not. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna hop into the little specs area. We're gonna talk a little bit how fast this card may be, how fast it will go, and the specs I ran it at. So what is the Radeon HD 6750? When was it made and what is it called? So this GPU is called the Juniper Pro GPU. It is part of a Terascale 2 architecture, which was very popular in 2011. This GPU came out on January 21st, 2011. A very, very odd time to be releasing a GPU. And fair enough, it launched at a launch price of 149 USD. So around the 1050/1050 Ti price point of today. So the Radeon HD 6750's got a really interesting GPU name. So what kind of core clock does it run at? So the core runs at 700 megahertz, but I was able to get a little bit of a juicy overclock of 840 megahertz. That is about an 11% increase and will probably help quite a bit in some games. And the RAM is 1 gigabyte of GDDR5 running at 1150 megahertz. So this is Elpida RAM, doesn't really overclock very well. I was able to get around 100 megahertz out of it, so I was around stable at 1240 megahertz. And it was just pretty good at that, so I left it right there, didn't go any further. So some other important specs on this graphics card that we might want to talk about is it is DirectX 11, so it'll pretty much play everything out there today. Maybe it's not exactly that powerful to play everything today, but it can get the job done. And the weirdest thing about this graphics card is there's no HDMI port on this particular model I have. I don't know if you can see it in this camera shot, but I'll definitely have B-roll of it. It has 2 DVI ports and a mini display port. 2011, hello? Where's the like VGA or HDMI? So I don't know what's been going on with that, but we got that on the outside of the GPU, and inside we have a 6-pin slot on the back. Now this really takes away from the GPU being single slot, in my opinion. So it being a single slot, it runs at 86 watts. So the 6-pin is barely putting any power to this thing. Real disappointment that this GPU doesn't run only off the PCIe slot. So some people may want to know a little bit more about the specs. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to look over here and read them to you. So we got 720 shading units with 36 TMUs, 16 ROPs, and 9 compute units, running at 1008 gigaflops. So that's a pretty low number, but our overclock should give us around 1300 gigaflops. So before we get into the benchmarks to see how this old boy performs, I want to tell you guys how you can navigate through the benchmarks really easily if you don't have a lot of time today. So if you go down there, you can skip to the game that you want to check out. I'll do about 25 games of benchmarking. I like to show a little bit of gameplay for each one, and you guys can see exactly how it performs. So if you guys are short on time, go down there in the description and click to the game you want to see. So with that said, it is time to get into the benchmarks. I'll be joining you for a couple of the benchmarks, so let's get over to that right now.
One of the greatest addictions, it's the addiction to thinking. It's actually addictive. Can't stop.
Here we are over on the benchmark side. I'm going to be joining you for a couple of the most popular games that I benchmark. So the little bottom corner, you're going to see a little graph thing moving. That's going to be the 0.1 and 1% low frame time graph for the entire benchmark. I didn't implement this as well as I wanted to this video, but I will be doing a better job next video. So for GTA 5, we scored 47.3 average frames per second with a maximum of 55 and a minimum of 40 for a pretty decent experience.
On my mind, I don't know why. I don't know why.
Taking a look at a really recent game, Battlefield 1, shows a lot about the GPU's horsepower in 2017. So we're running it at 900p at lowest settings unfortunately, but we did get 39 FPS average with a maximum of 47 and a minimum of 29.
Where you wanna be in 10 years? Shit, where I wanna be in 10 years. Mama need to know what I'ma do now. Get a job, maybe you could run and go to school now. Motherfucker mailman, he just make the bills pal through it all. Good and bad, find a way to still smile. And this is for my overthinkers. Sit back and relax. And
If you rollin'.
So a quick update, I think Overwatch when it was updated put this frame cap on my display, so it limited at 75 FPS, but the game was still pretty playable, and I think the GPU is maxed out anyway, so I don't think it could really handle any more than that, but just take that into account. You might get 5 to 10 more FPS maybe if it was unlocked. We were able to run it at 1080p medium. Unfortunately, the resolution scale was down to like 75%, so it wasn't full 1080p, but we were able to get an average of 66.3 FPS with a maximum of 72 and a minimum of 55. For another popular esports title, we're bringing out Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Ran it at 1080p medium with no FXAA. We're able to get an average of 237 FPS with a maximum of 297 FPS and a minimum of 200 FPS. I also want to state that Counter-Strike is a very CPU intensive game, so your frame rates may differ.
Your choice then is not to understand.
So I finally got around to installing Left 4 Dead 2. We were able to run this game at a medium and high settings mix at 1080p. We're able to pull off an 84.2 average frames per second with a maximum of 149 and a minimum of 41. Moving on to another really popular esports title, we're going to be taking a look at League of Legends at 1080p, high settings with no anti-aliasing. I will talk about that a little bit later. We ran it at 143 average frames per second with a maximum of 224 and a minimum of 79.
So I can chill and fuck my girl. I need a grande caramel macchiato on my dresser plus Chipotle. Don't forget the sauce, you know I like it extra. Mama calling from a mansion, been some years since I done left the Western Union.
For our last narrative benchmark of the day, we're going to be taking a look at Doom at 720p at lowest settings. We were able to run it at 36.2 average frames per second with a maximum of 67 and a minimum of 25. So unfortunately, Doom is super VRAM limited, and our old 6750 is not doing too well in this game. So I hope you enjoyed me accompanying you with a couple of the popular games. So I'm going to move over and we're going to do a couple little less popular games like Metal Gear Solid 5 and stuff like that to see if we can game. It'll be like 10-50 seconds of benchmark each, and you'll see a little bit of gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoyed me accompanying you for these benchmarks. We're going to move over there now, and we're going to have, maybe 10-15 more games, so you guys can get a really great view of the 6750.
You know that's all that I need. Glasses of wine is option.
Here we go, you and I, destination who decides, take off, crash, land, I don't wanna lose tonight, take a chance, let it go, will we make it, never know, I'm so glad I kept you, could have left you, let's make room to grow, here we go, you and I, destination who decides, take off, crash, land, I don't wanna lose tonight, take a chance, let it go, will we make it, never know, I'm so glad I kept you, could have left you. Let's make room to.
Looking at you, looking back at me. I like to hear what your story is. If you think you're straight, I got shit to do, but those things can wait. And I'm prone to say that we'll take it slow, but that's bullshit. I've been here, boy, fought hard for the trust. All you gotta do is make it feel sincere, but that's past tense. I'm getting past it. Lust demons, pray to God I don't take action. Maintaining conversation, hard as fuck with these two distractions. Reppin' that 305 for the south side. You got no time for no bluff tip. With your fair shares of your broken heart, it's no wonder why you don't trust shit. You like fuck this. Stole your heart and got away, you don't even seek justice. Working hard at your dead end job for your aspirations, you must hit. But fuck all that preaching, them leggings is killing me softly.
Killing me softly.
Dominican fetish, forgive me, this shit can get costly. Some of them passing to just turn far. Perfect excuse for these tall macchiatos and new conversations that happen abroad. I pull up in a 1993 Toyota Camry with $30 on my car, using half of that just to make it out up on Biscayne Boulevard. Yeah.
And I want you more than you will ever know. When it's alright, just promise me you'll never go. No, no, oh girl, I just wanna let you know. No, no, oh girl, I just wanna let you know.
Holiday season. Never had time through the week, so we meet up on the weekends. Shit is looking shallow on the surface, but feelings get real when you caught up in the deep end. Sitting in your car, how we listen to his Nas late nights. We don't even have a reason. Too afraid to ask if you leaving. I know you got work in the morning, I don't wanna keep you out late. Slush shit, feeling like an outbreak. Plus I keep staring everywhere. Swear to God, those lips looking sweeter than a pound cake. But I digress. More talk about this and that. Past relationships and no strings attached. If you into that, clearly it's something deeper. It don't even make sense to act like it's anything less. Mentally driving away all the stress. So many thoughts on my plate, I got too much at stake, but you make me forget and confess. I just got through with my ex, skeptical about moving on, but shit, I'm so impressed that a nigga willing to invest any and everything in you. Now shall we continue, and if so, just let a nigga know what the info. Keep it real with me, baby, even if it hurts. Never wanna be the nigga frontin' out of limbo. Real though, at least I told you from the start. Play no fucking games with my heart. So much faith in us together, I hate to see us apart, yeah.
And I want you more than you will ever know. When it's alright, just promise me you'll never go. No, no, oh girl, I just wanna let you know. No, no, oh girl, I just wanna let you know.
Here we go, you and I, destination who decides. Take off, crash, land. I don't wanna lose tonight. Take a chance, let it go. Will we make it? Never know. I'm so glad.
So now we've went through all the benchmarks, it is time for conclusion. And I really don't know how I feel about this GPU. I don't know whether I hate it or whether I love it, if I'm being honest, because this GPU comes in such an odd looking form factor with an odd cooler that I've just never seen before. It just sparked my interest. But it feels like a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like, there's no HDMI, it's way too old, it needs a 6-pin, there's only a gig of RAM, there's better options out there for cheaper. It's kind of a rare card, if I'm being honest. So on eBay, you can get these from like $30 to $40, which is like way too overpriced. Like, I'd only get this GPU if it was like under 15 bucks, if I'm being honest. But if you look at it from a perspective of a $15 GPU, it's pretty good. But if you look at it from a $30 to $40 eBay price GPU, it's pretty shit. So take that as you will. I like the form factor, I like the cooler, but I just think it requires too much power, and it's fucking loud. Like, really loud. It honestly sounds like one of those old Quadro 600s on max fan speed. So take it as you will. If you find it under like $5-10 bucks, then I would definitely get it. But you know, you got better options out there right now, like the 550 Ti, the 560 Ti, much more powerful, much better for today, a little bit better optimized too. So take that as you will. Yeah, that's all I got on that. So now it's coming to the end of the video, unfortunately, and this has been a long one. I've taken about a week and a half to 2 weeks to make this video, just how I want it, but I'm starting to realize that it's really not all about perfection here, and it's really not as good of a video as I want it to be every time, and it just feels like I'm wasting my time when I look at it from that perspective. And when you look at it from the perspective that my videos aren't always going to be perfect, and I just need to make videos, then it's a lot different. So take it as you will, but I'm really loving this. I'm loving just walking around right here. It's really nice. I can just, you know, like, we can look back here. We can see all over in here. Maybe we'll do some different camera angles. I don't know. But I just find this to be a lot more personal from me to you. And I don't know. So let me know how you think about that. Let me know what's going on in your life. I'd love to know. But it's about that time of the video where I pop out of here and maybe tell you what's going on in the next one. So I have this GPU temporarily. It's called the 5450. I don't know. You guys should let me know if you want to see it. I'm going to have it for like a week. I can run some benchmarks, maybe run a quick GPU review on it. No edit or anything like that. But I will definitely look at this GPU if you guys want me to. It's a 512 megabyte GPU. So let me know if you want to guys, if you guys want to see that. But other than that, I think it's time for me to wrap this up. I've been rambling a little bit too much for my opinion. So leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what's going on in your life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this GPU review, and I will talk to you guys again very soon for another GPU review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys again soon. So out of box, this comes at 700 megahertz. Megahertz.